What is up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the Avengers Doomsday trailers. Now, they've only released the Thor and the Captain America one. They haven't released the X-Men one, and the Fantastic Four one hasn't even officially released yet, like at all. HD, we only have these ones. The X-Men trailer did get it's online, but it's very bad quality. And if I show it to you, I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige is going to cite me. So yeah, today we're going to talk about the Steve Rogers one and the Thor one, and then when the X-Men and Fantastic Four one release officially, I'll talk about those. But right now we're going to talk about the Steve Rogers one. So three, two, one. Oh, by the way, I already seen these trailers. This is not like me reacting them for the first time. I saw them in back quality and all that, and I already seen them HD. So I just really want to yap about them. So yeah, all right. Oh, Easter egg right here. I don't think anybody has catch this right now because nobody has said a thing. This house right here is the same house from Endgame that Steve decided to live his life with Peggy Young. It's the same house. It's the same house. Yep, yep. That's a very small house. Like that's actually like a very small house. I'm not gonna lie with you. This is a weird neighborhood. Like what is this? Like what is all this? Is this a farm? Where 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 is he? I know it's but like there's no other houses around him, and there's only like land, right? But that doesn't look like a farm house. Okay, whatever, whatever. Oh, Steve Rogers, Captain America. I love this Captain America. I know I love Sam too, but like I love Steve. Steve is generally my favorite MCU character when I was growing up, and like when he retired in Endgame, that was the first time I think I had like a heartbreak. I've never had a girlfriend, so I don't really know how having I don't really know how a breakup feels. But I think when I saw Old Man Steve Rogers in Endgame, I think that's how a breakup feels because that's how I felt. My heart dropped to the my heart generally dropped to the ground, bro. It sank to the ground when I saw Old Man Steve in that balcony, not in the balcony, in that chair scene where he sat. I couldn't tell you how devastated I was. I was very devastated. But now he's back. Look at him. He's back, man. Look at that. Steve Rogers, Captain America. He's back. I love Captain America. Look at that. Look at that suit. Now, when I first saw like the terrible quality of this movie, I mean this trailer, I generally did like it. I just like this trailer. Like, look at this. Seeing Steve put the suit back in his, case, letting that go. He's retired now. He's a soldier, and his war has come to an end. He literally just fought the greatest war he has ever fought in fighting Thanos. He lost in Infinity War, and then he fought again in Endgame, and he literally just had the biggest fight of his life. It would make sense why he would want to retire, especially now that he knows he actually can do it by going back in time. And now look at him. He's happy with his kid, wife, chilling. The Doom comes in and messes all of this up. But apparently, I want to talk about like what Steve's role is going to be in this movie. Because don't get me wrong, I love Captain America. Growing up as a kid, he was always my favorite Avenger. I had the DVD movies, the first movie on DVD. I would watch it on replay, the Avengers movie. I love Captain America. But why is he in this movie? Like, generally, why is he in this movie? Now, there have been leaks and rumors, and that him going back in time and having this baby is the reason why this movie is happening. Avengers Doomsday, right? This is the reason why Doomsday is happening. This is why Doctor Doom, maybe his family died because of Steve's nonsense and something like that. Maybe he caused an incursion, which I don't really know how that makes sense. Like, how could he cause an incursion? He's not in a different universe. He's just in a different point in time. Like, it's the same universe. It's just in a different point in time. He's just saying, unless somehow he traveled to another universe instead of staying within his timeline. I don't know. Endgame, MCU time travel and multiverse is so confusing because they tried mixing time travel with multiverse. Those are two completely different things, basically, right? This, picture like a line, right? This line right here is it one universe or one world. Cap was in this point, and then he went back in time to this point. Him going back in time from this point to this point shouldn't affect this line over here or this line down here. Why would that affect each other? That doesn't make any sense. I really don't understand how that really makes sense, but whatever. Looks happy. That is good at least. Now, Steve Rogers, we're turning Rogers. Yeah, yeah, we know. I genuinely don't know what his role would be. Apparently, like they're all going to be trying to catch Steve and like race to him or something like that. But what I want to talk about is like how I would have done it, and that is I wouldn't have his actions affect anything. We know that his actions apparently affected something. Like there's really rumors on that, like really heavy on that, and then the movie is going to be Doctor Doom versus Steve Rogers. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Steve has already had four Avengers movies. Him being a main crucial part of the next one, it just kind of feels like this is a movie with the X-Men, Fantastic Four, the New Avengers, the Avengers, like so many characters already. Having Steve in there, it just feels like it just feels like I don't know. It just feels like it's gonna take away from other characters that we really want to see. I'm not saying I don't want to see Steve, but what I mean is like it feels like it's gonna take away from other characters that we've been wanting to see. Having Magneto in the X-Men in an Avengers movie has been a dream of mine, and now you're telling me that Captain America, Steve Rogers, who his story ended in Endgame, will have a more important role than those characters. Again, I love Steve, but like, can we please have other characters have main roles other than Steve? I love Steve. Again, I absolutely adore him, and I do see the potential of bringing him back. I'm not mad at that. Like, because I see a bunch of people. I saw people freaking giving death threats to Steve. I saw people saying they want him to die in the first couple of minutes. They want him to die brutally. Like, no, 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 no. I love Steve, and I am glad he's back. But just having him, like, I just don't want him to have more screen time than the X-Men, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and stuff like that. He should definitely be in it and be an important part of it, but he shouldn't be the main character. And like I think his role will probably be similar to Infinity War, by that I mean like in screen time, because in Infinity War he was there and he was definitely doing stuff, but he wasn't important. As what I mean is like he wasn't the main character in Infinity War. He definitely was important. That's not what I meant. What I mean, he just wasn't the main character. Like Infinity War is a Thanos and Guardians and Iron Man movie. These like the Guardians, Thanos, and Iron Man, they're the ones that really take up that movie. Steve is there, but he's just really there. And I think this is gonna be similar to that. Of the Doomsday is gonna make up of the X Men, Doctor Doom, Avengers, and stuff like that, and Fantastic Four. But Steve is just gonna be there. He will definitely be an important part, maybe. And I do like him having like an important part. My only issue is if he has more screen time than the X Men, Fantastic Four, and stuff like that. But overall, W, huge W, because Steve Rogers, I love the guy. Come on, who can be mad at that? Now moving on to the Thor trailer that they released, we're gonna play after a little bit.
Father,
Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is actually the same tree from a previous MCU movie. I don't know which one though, but yeah,
all my life, I have answered every call. To honor, duty, to war.
Thor going back to like his serious, mannerisms and stuff. Big W. I love Ragnarok. Ragnarok's a ton of fun. But Thor Love and Thunder overdid it. I think Infinity War is definitely the biggest, like, that's the best version of Thor because it finds the perfect mix of, funny. He's so funny, funny, goofy a little bit, but he's serious. He's dead serious when it comes to me. I think that's the best mixture of everything. In Endgame, I still love him there, but he's definitely more goofy, fat and stuff like that. But it makes sense because he was like depressed, I guess. So he's like, maybe through all the laughing and all the smiles and jokes and Endgame that he made in Endgame, maybe that was like a way of him to like cope with everything that happened. But in Thor: Love and Thunder, there's no excuse. There really isn't. He's really a clown in that one. Like he's generally like a comedian in that movie, and that's just one thing that really worked. And I don't hate that movie as much as other people do, but Goofy Thor did not work for a whole movie. Like that. In Ragnarok, he was goofy, but he wasn't like all the way goofy, like the ridiculous goofy the way he was in Love and Thunder. Oh, look, he's walking there.
But now fate has given me something I never sought.
Now, this does confirm that Thor: Love and Thunder is canon. I don't know why, but some people were shocked by that, which doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think the MCU has ever done anything that makes it non-canon. Like, have any other projects ever been considered non-canon? Literally everything is canon. Like, even the Incredible Hulk movie is canon, and that's a completely different actor. And so, like, like everything that's part of the MCU from Phase One all the way now to Phase Five, all of that's canon. Even if we don't want to be, I do not want Secret Invasion to be canon. But it's canon. There's nothing I can do about it. Maybe after Secret Wars I can fix that. But as much as I would want Secret Invasion to not be canon, I can't do nothing about it. But it's canon.
A child, a life untouched by the storm.
And something I found kind of nice is that that's actually like the Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter. I think that actually adds a little bit of emotion, to the speech of like Thor in this moment is not the god of thunder. He is not Thor the warrior. He's not Thor the avenger. He's not Thor the king. He's Thor the dad. He's a father. And all he wants is to go back to his daughter and to protect her and love her. That is all he wants right now.
Lend me the strength of the old fathers, so that I may fight once more.
Like he's asking for strength because not because he just wants to kill Doom and like show his like super like show that he's better or he wants to rule a kingdom or any of that. He's doing it. He's asking for strength because he wants to defeat Doom so he can go back to his daughter. This I don't know if this scene or this trailer or this moment right here is gonna be in the movie. I hope it is, but I don't think it will be. But whatever has happened or whatever Doctor Doom has done has shaken Thor right down to his knees, and that is kind of scary because In Infinity War, Thor, when when he was talking about Thanos and all that, he was and Rocket told him, "What if you die or something like that?" And Thor said, "I don't have anything to lose, right?" Now he does.
Uniform. And what if you're wrong? What if I'm wrong? Well, just psyching myself up to prepare for the internship.
Now he has a daughter that he loves and that he will lose if he dies in this. And I think that terrifies Thor. I don't think it's just that he's terrified of Doctor Doom. I think that he's terrified of him dying because he wants to be there for his daughter. I think that's why he's praying. I don't, a lot of people are saying that maybe Doctor Doom did something to show Thor. Maybe that could be too. And maybe Doctor Doom just obliterated the whole Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Avengers. But I think also this is Thor generally just wanting to be with his daughter and wanting this to get all wanting all of this to be over so he can go back to her. This is Thor like just I don't think this is Thor like like in Infinity War he wouldn't have prayed, for strength. He didn't do any of that. There was never a moment in Infinity War where Thor was like desperate, like here. And here he is because now he has something to lose. Like in Infinity War, he didn't, but now he really does. Not just his life, but his daughter. Because normally, if he didn't have his daughter, I'm pretty sure Thor will be excited. He will be excited to go up against this new enemy and give it everything he has. And if he dies, cool, he'll be in Valhalla. But now, if he dies, he's leaving his daughter. So yeah, I yapped a little bit too much about that, didn't I?
Defeat one more enemy and return home to her. Not as a warrior, but as warmth. To teach her not battle, but stillness. The kind I never knew. Please, Father, heed my words.
Now, this was a nice trailer. It was telling us Thor is going to be, in Doomsday. He's going to be the Thor you all love from Infinity War, serious, and all that. I really love this trailer. I think it's nice. These two trailers are really nice. They're simple. They're not too over in your face. There's no big action sequences. There's no explosion. There's none of that. They're both very simple. And a lot of people have pointed out the fact that both trailers are focused on the fact that they're both fathers and they both have kids. I don't really think that's really going to be an important part of them. Say, I don't really think Doom is going to want Thor's kid or he's going to want Steve's kid. I don't really think Doom really cares about that. I think Doom is probably just after like maybe a couple main heroes. Maybe he's after like powers. Maybe he's after Sentry's power, Loki's power, Thor's power, or something like that. I don't really think he cares about the kids. I don't really think that's going to be a plot point. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But overall, yeah, like Doomsday, December 18th, 2026. I'm excited. We'll see how it all goes down. I just really hope that Thor doesn't die because I really want to get Thor 5, and there are rumors we're gonna get Thor 5. So I don't think Thor is gonna die. I think something will probably happen that he disappears from the movie. Maybe he gets teleported somewhere. He goes somewhere. Maybe Loki helps him out and takes him somewhere. But I don't think he's going to die. I don't think he's going to die. Apparently he's gonna lose an arm, but I don't think he's gonna die. I think we at least got a couple more years with Thor. But I do hope he still plays like a big part in Doomsday, because Thor has just been there since the beginning, and he hasn't really gotten a lot of time to shine over the last couple of years. Like we had Ragnarok, people love that. Infinity War even better, and then we went to Endgame, and a lot of people are split about Endgame and how Thor was in that movie. And then we got the Love and Thunder in that movie. We all know how that movie went. So I feel like this is a time to like really redeem Thor again and show him to be just how of a cool character he really is. Because he really is. Thor is generally a cool Marvel character. And I don't think the MCU has used him to his full potential with his lore, his villains, and all that, and his character. But yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to talk about. So yeah, next week the X-Men should drop, and then the week after the Fantastic Four. So we'll talk about those when those come out. But yeah, this is actually my second time recording this video because I recorded a whole 20-minute gapping session, and I realized that some of the audio was kind of messed up. So that sucks. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And what do you guys think about this? Are you guys excited for Steve Thor coming back? What do you think's gonna happen in this movie? So yeah, thank you for watching, and God bless.